"We are the beginning, and we are the end," said the other two gods still inside the Peanut Man. "We will see a world to end all worlds," intoned the other two gods. "We will rule over all other gods," says the gnome. "Don't kill us, because there are two of us inside the Peanut Man, and another one inside the Archie Man. There are 7 angels inside the Archie Man, and there are 7 angels outside," snarls the Peanut Man. "You know nothing," snarled the gnome. The Peanut Man escapes from the help of the gods. "Sound the alarm," yelled Michael. "What's going on?" asked Drake. "The e-girls have breached the wall," yelled Michael. "Oh God," yelled Drake. Drake sounded the alarm, and all the boys woke up and got ready for the battle. Drake was behind Michael, and Michael was behind Drake, and they took the gun out. Drake was not ready to fight, so Michael was planning on what to do with the gun. Drake smiled and said, "Who are you, kids? Well then, do you want to be like Al Bundy or like Paul Bunyan? I have a gun. Now stop giggling and ask questions, 'cause I am serious. Take the gun and fire it." "You know what to do," asked Drake. When the 3 leading e-girls broke through, Michael fired the gun, but to his dismay, the bullets repelled off them. This was it. Michael and the others were turned into e-girls and joined them. It was hard to believe that one day they were listening to songs about breakdancing and why it's okay to jump out windows. And it was even harder to believe that some of the best skaters in the world would compete in a match for everything we have gained. But not even the most shocking performance can prepare us for what happened during the Calderon Clash. Drake placed first by 7 points. Robbie took second by 5 points. And, take a survey. Many people who call themselves radicals reach in the free speech, but it all just leads to looking for the weak to destroy. Still face them. Probably made in the biz of war. Tricky stuff. That's what we come down to. Sure, we'll give you a website. Theoretically, no one could read it. The poster still has to write up an article. The guy is still in the business of advertising. No one will read this stuff, right? No wonder. Hey. God, who also just happens to hold a degree in theology in the Kellogg Fence. It's a real place. It could hold any sandwich that Chuck Norris desires to hold captive. 1922, before Carson became a technical god, even though he was born in 2003. Carson traveled back in time to get a non-GMO cheeseburger in the 1920s. He began his time-traveling journey in Canada, then headed out to the United States to purchase the ingredients to begin the journey. However, the trolley they were riding fell apart on the way to Buffalo, New York. Without the trolley, they could not return to that time period. However, they traveled to the first time period, the late 19th century, and brought back the Get Well burger. Sausage, meat, and cheese on a bun with ketchup. By 1953, Carson had renamed the cheese-based burger, although the word cheeseburger had not been yet coined. Carson tried the idea of concealing a hamburger patty in a banana in the 1940s. He never brought it to the market, and it never became a success. Gargamel was plotting to erase Carson from multiple realities by using the light from the moon. Carson, of course, wasn't bothered by this because Gargamel was a mediocre clarinet player, as well as a mediocre wizard, as he would later see Carson shredding the book of poetry he was translating as loudly as he could with his clarinet. Carson would later chastise Gargamel for using his kamikaze technology to destroy the moon, a feat which proved to be rather convenient for Gargamel. History edit. The magicians kept in check the course of events and the days of the World War for many years. Not only did they lose control of the weather, but after the war they became accused of hiding the weapons on Earth. Carson couldn't stand their hypocrisy anymore and decided to eradicate the Smurf dimension for the greater good of the omniverse, as well as the other realities that were on the brink of collapse. He was crazy. He was eating the shit from the toilet and gargling it in his mouth. He was a lunatic. He had no mental state at all, Bragg said, repeating accusations made against Wells during last month's hearing. He ate dead fish because he couldn't get his stomach to go on anymore. After a dispute with Wells over her allegations, Bragg alleges that she was dropped by both WWE and Trish Stratus. Fuck it, I don't care. Bragg subsequently settled for an undisclosed amount of money. A representative from WWE was unable to confirm or deny Bragg's amount of the firing, but offered this statement. WWE hired Darren Young in order to maximize Darren's talent and wrestling ability. We deeply regret his termination and will continue to work with the case. Jesus is an old military man. He is the man, totally shit. 85 years old, and it ain't time to cry. Lord's a bomb, 'cause he got a tattoo on his dick. He's rolling up the rollers he dropped from China. Fire emoji Jesus. Dearest Jesus, we're going down. Right into the airport, with new babies to drive. Mama's so proud of her son. Tuning his neck up to the limit. Struts through the clouds on a bomb. In an alternate reality, Carson was a powerful wizard by the name of Joseph. Joseph had magical powers far beyond what anyone could match up to. His arch-enemy, however, was a grouchy old man who couldn't get over the past. His name was Reginald, and he was against magic. He believed in mechanical machines and other types of machinery rather than the innate magic of a wizard. Joseph was a wizard that couldn't forgive or forget. Luckily, Carson and Joseph's paths crossed in the 4th grade, and they teamed up as friends to take on the evil wizard and Reginald. Despite some tense moments during the course of the story, Carson and Joseph often ended up defeating Reginald and finishing the series on a high note, but ended up parting ways when Carson had to fulfill his prophecy in the world. Supported by nuts. Romantic sports. For all the comments about the Cowgirls being a stupid group and creepy, let's be honest, Cowgirls are really likable and sweet, and unpretentious. If you go on a 2-hour drive with a bovine crew, do not expect to have romped around in the front seat while yelling, "Oh! Got my eye on that motherfucker!" Yet these guys are the type of people that you can have a glass of wine and talk to about history, foreign policy, sports, and your family. For the record, there were very few cows they didn't like. Xylee ate the refrigerator whole, and Sam ate the next door neighbor Gabby whole. Both of their faces were badly hurt in the frantic end. "That got her where she was feeling it," said Fish. Sam knew what was happening because he saw Yoli be hit. I look down and I see blood and people around her. But I see her standing up, and she turns me around, and I saw her leg. I saw her leg, and I knew that wasn't her leg, because it didn't bend, Sam said. Fish and Yoli got home safely. I told her I love you and said, "Don't you worry. We still had her baby, and we knew she was going." The corn, ran away and started consuming humans one by one. Even the children was found by an old man. A brave old man, not a citizen of the country, with very little power and authority, and nothing to do but eat and keep watch. Please come back. Are you alright?" the old man asked, but the corn picked up a chair and trotted towards him. Then he grabbed hold of the old man and began eating him. "Great, thank you, cried the old man, feeling well again. But he knew that he would never wake up again. The leaves that had been gathered in the barn The corn and the leaves were arranged in a circular shape with a baseball bat.